After the Pittsburgh Steelers' early playoff exit, 7 in a row, I think it is playoff exits, without a win to move on to the divisional round. Coach Mike Tomlin stepped down from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully I'm reporting this right. It was a mutual decision for the Steelers to move on and go in a different direction. And for the past couple of weeks, we were kind of wondering, okay, who's going to be the next head coach? And so, some news that was breaking the last few days was that Coach Mike McCarthy is going to take over for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Video, real quick, give my thoughts and my opinions on Coach McCarthy going from Green Bay to then Dallas to then the Pittsburgh Steelers. If I'm going to be honest, I think it's an okay move. Like, it's good. Like, he's a solid coach. I know if you ask a lot of Steeler fans, like, deep down, they're like, holy, oh my gosh, what are we doing? We went from Tomlin to this. I think, you know what? Give it time. Give it time. I think it could work. I think one thing, which now hearing the stuff, because like I knew this because you hear of stuff like, where Jordy Nelson's from, Clay Matthews, McCarthy, Rogers. Like, you learn more people's backstory. Yeah, I totally forgot he was from Pittsburgh. Totally forgot that. Like, I've known this forever, and so kind of writing felt like it was on the wall of, yeah, no, that makes sense that he would go back home and go coach the Steelers. Now, I remember his time more as a Packer. If we're going to evaluate how he will be as a coach based off his time in Dallas, I'd be a little worried. But I think just the type of coach that he was with Green Bay, let's just talk about Green Bay and praise his time up there getting the Lombardi trophy. I mean, him and Rodgers, honestly, dynamic head coach quarterback relationship that you look at a lot of athletes now. You look at Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. You did look at for a second before he got fired, Coach McDermott and Josh Allen. And I think it's an unsung thing that not a lot of people look at. Like, sometimes, yeah, the head coach is a reflection on how good the quarterback is, and vice versa. You can factor other things too, and like, because I'm going to be honest, Nick Sirianni, Coach Moore, and Jalen Hurts, that three-headed monster worked, and it helped get him a Super Bowl. Kind of like how, yeah, Rodgers and McCarthy, their last successful. I mean, they've had a couple good runs that have ended in the NFC Championship game, but I mean, every Packers fan especially remembers Super Bowl 45 and them winning the Steelers. Which the fact that kind of full circle moment that it goes back to him now coaching the Steelers. Rodgers is on the Steelers, which everybody's pending on. Is he going to retire? Is he going to play one more season? Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards retiring, because that's the thing is, like, he'll probably let us know whenever the decision's made. But the other thing too is, like, age is definitely a factor. And Rodgers, love him, but there's something, Father Time is undefeated. I mean, you look at the last handful of seasons that Brady had. Like, yeah, Father Time was showing, like, his speed obviously wasn't the best, but I think it's a good hire for the Steelers. How far do they get? I have no clue. I have honestly no clue. I can make a joke and be like, definitely a first round exit. They go 10-7. They hit that standard, baby, and then they finish with their 8th consecutive playoff loss, or their 9th consecutive playoff loss by the time he finishes his second year. One thing that I know is, no matter whatever record McCarthy gets, truth is, Steelers aren't going to fire him. I mean, I think they've had 4 head coaches since we put a man on the moon. So it's like, even if they go 4-12 or manage to scrap together some wins and go 6-11 and miss the playoffs, he's not going to get fired. Like, the Steelers keep guys around, and I think, you pair him with, like, let's just look at the quarterbacks they got now with not only Rodgers, if there is that potential reunion, which I think it'd be cool if they did have a reunion, but you look at other quarterbacks that are on the roster. Mason Rudolph, he might move something, there might be a switch up, even though I think he left and then came back. But then you also look at the young Will Howard. I think you get McCarthy and Howard on the right page. That could turn into another young quarterback and head coach dynamic, because I think because a lot of people were comparing it. Maybe you might not remember too much, but some of the comparisons Will Howard had, and probably just had to do with size, weight, and height. But some people that some of the media was comparing Howard to was Big Ben. They were comparing him to Roethlisberger and Josh Allen because, I mean, these are quarterbacks that are 6'6", 6'5", 240, 250, you know. So, and Howard's a bigger dude, so, I mean, he's not the tall, skinny like a Lawrence build or a short and stout like Hurts. Because, for example, everybody, if you watched, you know, Alabama football or Oklahoma football, you know that Hurts could squat 600 pounds. You know that, like, leg day, you know, in the Phillies locker room is probably intense. Probably not as intense now because I don't think anybody's trying to show off anymore. But like Saquon, there's videos of him when he was squatting so much freaking weight. You know, those Penn State days. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the McCarthy hiring for the Steelers. Ceiling, I would say, yeah, Super Bowl, definitely a Super Bowl. Floor, basement, probably. Two losing and again, they've had 4 coaches, you know, since like the 60s or something. So it'd be a huge stretch, but floor would probably be they missed the playoffs twice, like back-to-back seasons. But I'm not talking like, oh, you missed it because you went 8-9. I'm talking you put in a 2-win season and then like a 4-win season or something like that. I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, guys. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.